then rust. So today, briefly, these are the minor diseases in our country. So briefly we discuss. Hello. Briefly we discuss the loose smut in wheat. You see, usually caused by Stelago TTC. It is a smut fungus. Cause loose smut in wheat. Usually the whole heads. In case of rice, we call it panicle, but in case of wheat, we call it spike of spikelet or head. So whole head smarted. Whole head smarted means the grain of the wheat replaced by the fungal structure and turned into a black spore. You see here the structure smarted head in which the grain and blooms replaced by the masses or black or teliospore because Stelagotitis produce teliospore. If you see here type of structure, or you can see this type of structure in our laboratory once the university open. Okay, so you will get the opportunity. Just wait. Hello. So in case of loose smut of wheat, I would like to summarize the whole heads and turn into a smart structure. What actually happened? The spikelet or ovaries and other glooms replaced by the fungal structure called teliospore, and the whole structure is covered by a thin silvery membrane. Thin silvery membrane. And one of the important characteristics of this disease is this type of infected head emergence earlier or emerged earlier as compared with the healthy head. As compared to the healthy plant, this infected plant produce heads little bit earlier as compared with the healthy plants. And if you see, as I told, this whole structure covered by thin silvery membrane, this fragile membrane, but bhongur, a bhongur membrane that covers the spore, basically break off. This fragile membrane break off due to strong wind or strong rain. Wind this thin silvery membrane break. What happened as a result? The spore wash off or run off, you can say, wash off or run off by rain or eventually by wind and so on. What will happen? All this spore and spikelets gone. What will happen? Only you can see the empty rachis. You see in this photograph, you see the empty rachis. So how you can summarize? All spikelets turn into a black spore ball, and the whole heads turn into a smarted structure, which is covered by a fragile membrane. This fragile bhongur membrane break off by strong wind. As a result, the black teliospore wash off or by rain, leaving the empty rachis in the field, as you see here. So this is the structure. You see the smarted head, and this is the empty rachis after blown off the teliospore, black teliospore. What are the favorable conditions for the disease? You see wind and moderate rain and cool temperature. And as you know, wheat basically grown in our country in winter. And usually, if you see the late January to early February or mid-February, our temperature usually 16 to 20 degrees centigrade, especially at night. So here is the pathogenic structure. What the Stelago TTC produce? Basically, this type of teliospore they produce. Single-celled spore and brown in color, as you see, and around the cell wall, you will see some serration. Katar moto structure dekha jay. Ei katar moto structure take bole echianulate. Echianulation bole. That means echianulate single-cell teliospore produced by Stelago TTC that cause loose smut in wheat. And you see here, clear, see, here is the healthy head. What is the field situation? If you look, This is the, for example, this is the field view of wheat, and you see the healthy heads and you see the infected head. As I told, the infected head emerged earlier. I mean the smarted head emerged, মানে বের হয়ে আসে আগেই, as compared with the healthy heads. And you see, once the membrane break up, silvery membrane broken, then what will you see? The spore run off or wash off, ঝরে পড়ে যায় by rain or strong wind, so that you can see the empty rachis. That is the, so you can see the total loss in case of infected heads. That is the symptoms. So I don't want to spend time here. We can say the smarted heads, in which the grain and blooms are replaced by the fungal spore, teliospore, which are covered by a thin silvery membrane. This fragile membrane then broken due to strong wind, and the smarted and the teliospore blown off. Okay, as a result, empty rachis remain in the field. That's it. You don't need to write so many things. And another things you can write only that this smarted head emerged earlier as compared with the healthy head, healthy plants. Shishta age ber hoy, healthy planter age. Okay. So this is all. You see here. You see the clear things. All grains. You see all spikelets turn into a spore ball, and all this structure. You have to draw a wheat head and the gray with grains, and give the labeling. I mean, make it color by black and show a thin silvery membrane, and label what I did in this photograph. In a way, you have to label this. That is very important. So, Astilago TTC, what type of produce, what type of spore it can produce? Who can say?
Acanulate.
Teliospore.
Teliospores.
A brown, spherical in color. You can observe under microscope in our laboratory. We have these facilities, and you can see the structure when your practical classes will start. So, this is hypothetical disease cycle as compared with the developed world. You see, so the pathogen, you see, when infected seeds germinate, you see the fungus can produce mycelium on the young seedlings, and gradually when the plant mature, I mean go to the heading stage, it can produce teliospore, and this teliospore basically produce iridospore and then infect the wheat plant and produce this smarted head. What will happen if you don't have the technical knowledge? You are harvesting this smarted head and the healthy head together and mixing with your seed. And next season, again, the pathogen may come from the seed. That is the fix. This is a seed-borne disease. Management, you can see planting high-quality pathogen-free seed. We always say healthy seed. We need healthy man, and also we need healthy seed. If you want to get the healthy crop, you need the healthy seed. That's why, you know, our department established a center at Jobbarre Mode. What is the name of this center? Seed Pathology Center, presently renamed as Professor Ghulam Ali Fakir Seed Pathology Center. The main motto to establish this center is to help the poor farmers for assessing the health status of their seed, what they are going to sowing in the cropping season. So very important. So you need the healthy seed. Seed should be treated. Why? As I told you earlier, that is a seed-borne pathogen. So you have to treat with this fungicide, seed-treating fungicide. If someone asks you, name one seed-treating fungicide, you can say Provex. What are the generic name? Carboxin plus therum. carboxin plus therum it contains. Even sometimes you can say in absence of the Provex, you can treat your seed with tebuconazole 2.5 gram per kg seed. প্রতি কেজি সিডের জন্য 2.5 গ্রাম লিকুইড হলে সেভাবে তোমাকে নিতে হবে 2.5 ml বা something like that to eliminate the seed-borne infection. As I mentioned earlier, like other disease, especially rust or fusarium head blight, you can spray azoxystrobin plus propiconazole or Folicur, a fungicide contain tebuconazole plus trifloxystrobin. In addition, any fungicide that contain this type of active ingredient. That's why when you visit or when you advise the farmer to purchase or to buy a fungicide, you have to tell them, please ask the dealer, please give me a fungicide that contain tebuconazole plus trifloxystrobin, or a fungicide, give me a fungicide that contain azoxystrobin plus tebuconazole, like this. And the concentration mentioned in the packet, so you can, and frequency you see 7 to 10 days interval. Now the question is, why I need to spray the chemical at seedling stage? The reason is the pathogen is seed-borne, so may come from the seed in the seedling. So if you can eliminate the pathogen in the early stage of the crop, so that you can remove the infection. That's why they say seedling to flag leaf emergent stage. Flag leaf emergent stage. Okay. Resistant variety, but it's always resistance. Most of our big variety are low spot resistance. In Bangladesh, it's a very minor disease at all. So placing seed production, you see, field away from commercial field. That means you have to produce the wheat seed in an area where this disease is not a problem. For example, if I can say, if I ask someone, where should we produce wheat seed? Who can say? Do you know? Hello?
Yes, sir.
The best places for wheat seed production in Bangladesh is the northern part of the country. Where?
Northern part of the
Panchagod,
country.
Thakurka, Panchagod, Thakurka, Dinaspur, Rangpur, Nilphamari, this part very important, especially Dinaspur. The greater Dinaspur is very important for wheat seed production. Even if you consider wheat blast of wheat, because you cannot produce seed in the Meherpur, Kushtia, Jinaida, Jashore, and some other places, because there is the infection or epidemic development of wheat blast pathogen. Sometimes we can notice. So these are the best places. So these are the things: healthy seeds, seed treatment, spray schedule, resistant variety, and the places where no infection at all. Here you can see powdery mildew of the next disease, powdery mildew of wheat. You see the causal organism? Blumeria graminis form species. মানে শুধু টিটিসি কে যখন অ্যাটাক করবে তখন এটাকে বলে form species. Blumeria graminis. There is lot of Blumeria graminis, but those one infect TTC. That's why you have to specify form species TTC. What is the name of the disease?
Blumeria graminis.
Powdery mildew. But you can notice in the field, you see, in the late or maximum tillering stage or heading stage or late growth stage, especially in the junction between warm weather and the cool weather. For example, this time is very important for powdery mildew development before the rain coming. Before the first nor'wester, I mean কালবৈশাখী, প্রথম কালবৈশাখী আসার আগ পর্যন্তই এটা দেখা যাবে। কালবৈশাখী হলেই এটা ধুয়ে চলে যাবে। So you can see the powdery growth, white powdery cottony masses of the fungal growth. You can see on the leaf surface, and you see the methylation, dark with reproductive structure with black speckles, dark, mixed with the white cottony growth of the fungus. You can see. So black speckles, you see, these are black speckles. Black speckles, because protein structure produce করে এর সাথে তুমি একটু brown বা একটু সাদাটে অফ হোয়াইট কালারের fungal growth you can notice on the wheat leaf. So the symptoms of the disease appear as cottony white masses of the fungal growth. এটাকে আমরা sign বলি, sign. You have studied in level 2 semester 2, symptom and sign. So this is called sign, because who can say what is the difference between symptom and sign? Please. Hello. Have to interact. You know.
স্যার সাইন মনে হয় স্যার সাইন মনে হয় প্রথম অবস্থাটা যখন আক্রমণটা শুরু হয়, আর সিমটম স্যার রোগের একদম এখন চিকিৎসা নেওয়ার প্রয়োজন পড়ে গেছে সেই অবস্থা।
সিমটমের সময় স্যার বহিঃপ্রকাশ হবে, এক্সটার্নাল।
Okay, fine. Very close. Yeah, you are right that any physiological, biochemical, or any morphological deviation you can see. Okay, on the leaf you can see the symptom, but sign of the presence of the structure of the pathogen you can see. Here in this case you see the pathogenic structure directly you can see on the leaf surface. What are the structure? Mycelium, spore, and so on. You can see on the leaf surfaces. So in case of sign, you must have to see the pathogenic structure. Pathogenic structure থাকবে, clear? Symptomer ক্ষেত্রে pathogenic structure থাকবে না, but তার expression থাকবে, symptom expression, brown color spot or of like this. So what are the favorable conditions, or what are the conditions basically induce the powdery mildew infection in wheat? You see, the mild temperature, usually more than 20 or something, very close to 20. High humidity in excess of 70%. And mostly the dense canopies, you know, dense crop canopies. If you planted high seed rate, if you apply the high seed rate or so the high seed rate, what will happen? You will see more plants, and there is no air circulation in the crop canopy, poor air circulation, and the surrounding area, microclimatic weather, microclimatic situation, basically damp, and see the shaded areas with dense canopies. These are the things. Dense canopy basically enhance the infection by Bloomeria graminis. Soil moisture, you know, if your soil wet, what will happen? Basically, the damp condition prevail, and canopy is dense canopy. So damp soil, all these things create high humidity and poor aeration. বাতাস চলাচল করতে পারবে না. So this is the things, and hence the infection by this pathogen. So you have to draw and label this, and just write 1 or 2 sentences enough. In case of our department, you know, the plant pathology, what should be the strategy? The strategy is you have to draw very clearly a wheat leaf, look like a wheat leaf, and label them. What you want to say on this drawing, and just describe in 1 or 2 sentences is enough. You see, if you
কালার পেন ইউজ করা লাগবে নাকি? কালার পেন ইউজ করা লাগবে নাকি?
And if you see small black fungal fruiting bodies, you see on the black fruiting bodies, Clistothecia. এই ফাঙ্গাসটা কি প্রোডিউস করে? সেক্সুয়াল fruiting body তৈরি করে। নাম কি? Clistothecia. Immersed in the gray fungal tissue can be observed later in the season. You see the enlarged view of the black structure representing Clistothecia. And see, if you just take a bit of mycelium, you will see the conidial change on the short conidiophore. You see, this is the conidiophore, and all these structures, barrel-shaped cell, barrel-shaped or oval-shaped cell are conidia. In the asexual stage, the fungus produce conidia. Sexual stage produce Clistothecia, and inside the Clistothecia, it produce ascus, and inside the ascus, it can produce ascospore. So very, very important. The fungus having both sexual and asexual stage. Symptom, I don't want to spend time here. Very important, very briefly, you can describe the white powdery masses appear on the leaves. And in the later stage of growth, but later stage of plant growth, black fruiting structure develop on the powdery growth, which are called cleistothecia. And each cleistothecia contains scospore. Basically, in the form of scospore, this fungus attack. See briefly how Plumeria can complete its life cycle. You see here, volunteer plants or the pathogen can survive and produce cleistothecia. And this is produces thousands of scospore. These scospores, hello?
Yes, sir.
Classes. This scospore infect the wheat head, and you see the symptoms on the leaves. Once the growing season is over, what will happen? This growing season is over, the pathogen overwinters. I told you, overwintering means survival capacity of a pathogen or survival mechanism of a pathogen from one season to the another. How they pass one season to the another. You see here, the cleistothecial growth in a way they survive in the field. But during the season, once they infect the plant, with the help of wind, this conidia basically infect another neighboring plants. For example, একটা গাছ আক্রান্ত হলো, এই গাছ থেকে পরের গাছে যাবে হচ্ছে বাতাসের মাধ্যমে। আর যখনই সেটা কালো স্ট্রাকচারগুলি তৈরি করবে সব ধুয়ে মুছে চলে যাবে, কিন্তু এই কালো ফ্রুটিং বডি ক্লিস্টোথেসিয়া থেকে যাবে পরের সিজনের জন্য। এই ব্রিফলি এটাই হচ্ছে মিলডিউ ডিজিজ সাইকেল। Almost same fungicide you can apply. Conazole, propiconazole plus tebuconazole, only propiconazole or tebuconazole. This type of fungicides you can spray. Resistant variety. Cultural practices, basically, if you see that powdery mildew is a common problem in some wheat varieties, in that case, you can use low seed rate to avoid or to enhance the air circulation, improve the air circulation and decrease it. And don't go for over fertilize. You have to advise the growers, don't go for over fertilize. That makes the plant succulent and vulnerable to pathogenic infection. Crop rotation, you can go for crop rotation to reduce the amount of inoculum. Why? Because your pathogen may survive in the soil. If you go for crop rotation with other crop, for example, pulses, oilseeds and other crops, so that the pathogen inoculum level go down due to absence of the host. So that's why we suggest crop rotation, cultural practices. Clean plant means you have to collect all these things and destroy them. So these are the things you can list up if someone asks you to control or asks you to write the management or control of powdery mildew.
So can we use native or proper to control this powdery mildew?
Very close. You can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Because if you see the active ingredient almost very close. So, but this type of fungicide also okay. Even if you can, if the grower want to reduce their cost, yes, they can use. No problem. It will work. So if you see here, foot rot. Can you see the name of the disease? Foot rot, caused by a group of pathogen, soil-borne pathogen. We call it soil invader. This usually present in the soil. Fusarium graminearum, Fusarium calmorum, Pythium gramiculum, Pythium aeronomens. These are the pathogen may involve, but the leading cause is Fusarium. If you can consider, the wheat season start in November, for example, and early December. In this time, our soil, most of our soil become wet, almost high moisture. And once you sow the seed in the field, this soil-borne pathogen, Fusarium, Pythium, and so on, attack the crop, attack the seedlings. What will happen? they basically, you see, if you visit the wheat field in the early stage, just after germination or after 1 month or 20 days like this, you can see some of the seedlings turn yellow color as compared with the other. Here and there, some of the seedlings turn yellow color. So yellowing of the seedlings is the indication there might be infection in the collar or root region. Collar or root region. You see, this is the collar region. Collar region. This is so root and collar region. You can see, and you see the root become black in color. You see, black color discoloration. You can see. What you can do, you can write the seedlings and label them with some shade to show the discoloration. So who can see in a wheat field in the seedling stage? Who can say? Hello?
So could you please repeat?
My question is, how can you identify or guess there might be foot rot infection by Fusarium or other soil-borne pathogens?
গল থাকবে
No.
So stunted growth.
The first indication is you can see or you can notice in the field yellow discoloration or some seedlings turn into yellow color. কিছু seedling কি হয়ে যাবে? পাতাগুলি হলুদ হয়ে যাবে। ওই seedlingটা যদি তুমি একটু হ্যাঁ চলো এই হিমেল ID number something. Please talk. So yellowing is the indication of infection in the root. So that's why you say here the first visible symptom you can notice in the leaf, key leaf, chlorotic leaves or yellowing leaves. And then if you uprooting such seedlings or dig out the seedlings, and if you closely observe, you can see some dark brown to black discoloration, rotten root or lateral root you can notice in such plants. And primary and secondary roots may appear brown or blackened due to rotten by this pathogen. You see? And in addition, if it is Fusarium, then you can see the whitish mycelium, cottony pink mycelium, cottony pink mycelium. So what you can do, you can write 3 sentences. You have to write first visible symptoms of the disease is yellowing of the leaves, the root and secondary and primary root and other root systems have turned into dark brown to black and finally become rotten. And if the disease is caused by Fusarium, we can notice the whitish mycelium. That's it, and you have to draw. And in this figure you see, in this photograph you see the yellowing of the leaves. And in this figure, in this photograph, you see the black discoloration, rotten, black rotten roots, lateral roots, secondary roots, primary roots, and so on. And here in these slides, you see the black discoloration. So that is the way. So what will be the strategy to control? Who can say? How we can manage foot rot in wheat?
স্যার যে প্ল্যান্ট গুলা হচ্ছে ইয়োরিশ হয়ে যাবে ওগুলা কি তুলে ফেলতে হবে ম্যানুয়ালি?
Yes.
The crop rotation.
Now, if the number is very small, so you can remove them. You can tell the growers one of the way. And before planting, what you can do? Because the pathogen coming from soil to attack your seed. So if you develop a protective,
We can treat the soil with.
If you develop a protective zone, যদি একটা protective zone develop করো seed এর চারিদিকে by treating seed with Provex, see here, প্রোভেক্স দিয়ে যদি তুমি একটা প্রোটেক্টিভ জোন ক্রিয়েট করো তাহলে সয়েলে যে প্যাথোজেন আছে তোমার হুইট সিডকে অ্যাটাক করতে পারবে না। ক্লিয়ার? হ্যালো,
জি স্যার, বুঝতে পেরেছি।
seed treatment is important. Certified seed or fungicide treated seeds should be used. Rotation, although is a agronomic practice, but it's important. তোমরা জানো rotation কিভাবে কাজ করে? What is the mechanism? Who can explain in one sentence the function of rotation in plant disease control? Who can say?
প্যাথোজেন হোস্ট পায় না ক্রপ রোটেশন করলে।
That means if you cultivate wheat year after year, the inoculum level increasing, the soil-borne inoculum level increasing every year, and within 3-4 years, the inoculum level reach in high concentration or density, thus create epidemic. So what will happen? If you don't grow wheat and other cereals, or if you use other crops, so that you can avoid this infection. But it's very hard because Fusarium has a wide host range. Rhizoctonia, Sclerotium also same, Pythium also same. It's very important. So some cultural practice is important. Balanced fertilization is very, very important. Our farmers have the tendency to apply nitrogenous fertilizer. So we need to say them, we need to tell them, please apply fertilizer judiciously. Judicious application of fertilizer is important, NPK and so on, boron, gypsum, calcium and so on. Weeding also important. It's a way. The last one, wheat is gone. So barley, only one disease. We just explained in very briefly. It's not so important, but sometime in the exam you can see in the short note. For example, covered smart of barley. Covered not. কিছু স্টুডেন্ট আছে বলবে কভার স্মার্ট অফ বার্লি, আসলে কভার্ড স্মার্ট অফ বার্লি, কভার্ড স্মার্ট অর কভার্ড স্মার্ট অফ বার্লি। আর স্টিল আগো এর আগেরটা কি ছিল? টিটিসি। আর এখনকারটা কি? স্টিল আগো হর্ডি। Hordeum vulgare is the scientific name of barley. That's why hordy. টিটিসি তাহলে কাকে অ্যাটাক করবে? হুইট কে। আর হর্ডি কাকে অ্যাটাক করবে?
বার্লি।
Barley ke. Symptom almost same, act to difference. It structure to hard. You see, dark gray to black ears or head due to the mass of the fungus that are called a thin membrane of tissues. But this membrane you cannot rupture. Even strong wind cannot break this membrane. In case of loose smart, the membrane is thin, silvery, but this membrane is stable. Also, although thin, but it's stable, cannot break. Strong wind or rain. One of the important things. Hello. Hey, Shuno. Hey, kotha bolo na. Please, just wait few minutes. I'm very close to. So what you can see the smart head in the field. And this head covered by a thin membrane, and this is very hard membrane as compared with the loose smart of wheat. In addition, another third point you can write that in case of loose smart, this thin silvery membrane broken due to strong wind. But in case of covered smart, this membrane cannot be broken or ruptured. In case of loose smart, we can see the empty rachis due to blown up the spore. In case no such symptom you can notice in case of cover smart. এখানে কিন্তু একটা কোশ্চেন মাঝে মাঝে থাকে, distinguish between loose smart of wheat and covered smart of barley. এই কোশ্চেনটা একটু মনে রাখবা। তাহলে পয়েন্ট কয়টা লিখবা এখানে? 3টা পয়েন্ট লিখবা। 3টা পয়েন্টের মধ্যে কি গ্রে টু ব্ল্যাক, ওটার ক্ষেত্রে কি দেখছো? ব্ল্যাক। ব্ল্যাক smarted heads, in which grains or spikelet are replaced by fungal teliospore and covered by thin silvery membrane. And in case of cover smart, also the heads turn into a black smarted structure due to masses of teliospore of the fungus, which is also covered by thin membrane. Now the second point is the membrane, এবং তোমাকে দুইটা ছবি আঁকাইতে হবে, দুই পাশে দুইটা ছবি আঁকায় দেখাইতে হবে, এবং এটা যে এমটি ব্লোন হয় যে এমটি র্যাকিস হচ্ছে সেটাও দেখাইতে হবে। Second point is that these spores blown off or wash off by rain in case of loose smart, but in case of cover smart, no such symptoms, so no such symptoms, or the spores cannot be wash off, but not wash off or blown off, you can say. Third point is you can see the empty rachis. In case of loose smart, empty rachis can be seen after blown off the spores by rain or by washing with rain by blown off with the help of strong wind. But in case of cover smart, you will see the intact smarted heads. Theta point sundar kore likhba. These are the conditions: acidic soil, dry soil, especially important. So the same way you see the split at maturity during threshing, releasing the spore. এটা তুমি ভাঙতে পারবা না, এবং এই সিম্পটমটা তোমাদেরকে আমাদের ল্যাবে দেখাবে। তোমাদের এই এটা কি বলে কভার স্পট অফ বার্লি সিম্পটম তোমাদের ক্লাসে দেখাবে, এবং তোমরা স্লাইড করে দেখবা এই প্যাথোজেনের যে স্ট্রাকচার টেলিওস্পোরটা দেখবা।
তাহলে এটা সাইন না, আমরা
দেখতে পাই একই ধরনের টেলিওস্পোর। এবং এটি দেখো যে কন্ট্রোল অর ম্যানেজমেন্ট অফ কভার স্মার্ট, স্প্রে ম্যানকোজেব অর টেবুকোনাজল, এটি একটি ইম্পর্টেন্ট। ইউ সি জাস্ট বিফোর দ্য ইমার্জেন্স অফ দ্য হেড। কেন ইমার্জেন্সির আগে? কেন? যাতে আগেই তুমি প্যাথোজেনটাকে মেরে ফেলতে পারো, যাতে এটা ফ্লাওয়ার বা হেডিং হওয়ার সময় এটাকে অ্যাটাক করতে না পারে। কারণ অ্যাটাক করবে তো হেডকে, হেড আসার আগে যা করার করতে হবে, এসে গেলে কিছু করা যাবে না। ট্রিটমেন্ট অফ বার্লি সিড উইথ প্রোভেক্স টু রিমুভ দ্য সিডবোর্ন ইনফেকশন, ডিসিজ রেসিস্টেন্ট ভ্যারাইটিস, sowing seeds to reduce dry soil, moderately dry soil, to reduce the infection in the early stage, you see, and try to use the healthy seeds.
Varieties.
স্যার এই ডিজিজের ক্ষেত্রে কি সাইন বলবো সিম্পটম না বলে, যেহেতু ফাঙ্গাসের টেলিওস্পোরটা?
Yes, it's a good question. You can say the disease, this is a disease, but when someone asks you, name some disease where we can see the sign, you can tell that powdery mildew, smart, rust, we can see the sign. In this case of pathogen, we can see the sign. Because pathogenic structure you can notice. Powdery mildew, in this case, also you can see the black structures. So now I would like to give you some suggestion in this case.
Sir,
any question?
Wheat blast we got Barigum 33 as resistant variety, but the rest of the disease, the resistant varieties, we didn't get any resistant varieties.
Okay, it's a good question. We are now running a project by Krishi Gobeshona Foundation, funded by Krishi Gobeshona Foundation, in collaboration with Bangladesh Wheat and Maize Research Institute, Noshipur, Dinajpur, and in collaboration with Biotechnology Department, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Agricultural University, Gajbu. What's our target? Our target is to develop the integrated management package to manage the disease wheat blast and to develop the resistant or tolerant varieties using traditional technology breeding, I mean the conventional breeding, and in Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman University, they are now to develop the latest molecular breeding techniques, CRISPR-Cas9. Okay. So now the question is only those areas where wheat blast is a problem, but in the northern part of the country, for example, Panchagod, Thakurgarh, Dinajpur, Rangpur, and so on in the northern belt. There is no wheat blast infection noticed, and some other part of the country. So you can use the other varieties. This was your question? Hello?
So in case
Hello?
of covered smart of barley, so what are the resistant varieties, sir?
Okay, it's very simple. As I told you earlier, maybe you missed the point. These are minor disease in the country. Minor. Loose smart of wheat is a very minor disease. And most of our variety, you can say 99% of our variety are resistant to this pathogen. We cannot see a severe infection of this case. Sometimes we can see 1 or 2 heads out of the 1,000 heads. Sometimes it's a very minor disease in the country. Any question?
Wheat blast, right, sir? So most common disease is wheat blast.
Okay, that is another issue. Before 2016, we don't have wheat blast in the country. But after 2016, now we have the wheat blast in the country. But before that, we have only 2 major diseases. One is leaf blight and black point. So if someone asks you, what is the important disease? Then you have to say wheat blast. Then next you must have to say leaf blight and black point. And third, you have to say rust. Then fourth, you have to say fusarium head blight. Fusarium head blight is another minor disease in our country also. So major 3. কি তোমাদের যদি লিস্ট করতে বলে 5টা ডিজিজের, তোমাদের হুইট ব্লাস্ট দিবা, ফিউজেরিয়াম হেড ব্লাইট দিবা, লিপ ব্লাইট এন্ড ব্ল্যাক পয়েন্ট দিবা, আর একটা কি জানি বললাম, রাস্টের যে তিনটাই দিবা। হ্যাঁ, আর পাশাপাশি যদি পাউডারি মিলডিউ যদি চায়, সাধারণত 5টা 6টা চায় বা লিস্ট করতে বলে অনেক সময় এরকম। তো তোমাদের উত্তর হবে মোস্ট ইম্পর্টেন্ট ডিজিজ এট দ্য মোমেন্ট হুইট ব্লাস্ট, second most important is leaf blight and black point, third most important is rust, the fourth most important is fusarium head blight, fifth means powdery mildew. Clear?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any other?
স্যার লুজ স্মার্ট এবং হচ্ছে কভারড স্মার্টের মধ্যে ডিফারেন্সিয়েট করতে গিয়ে যে ফার্স্ট পয়েন্টে বলেছিলেন স্যার আরেকবার বললে ভালো হতো।
ফার্স্ট পয়েন্টটা আসলে ডিস্টিংগুইশ করা খুব কঠিন হবে, তারপরে তোমরা বলবা যে in case of loose smart the all spikelets turn into a black spore ball and whole heads মানে পুরো শীষটা smarted which is covered by a thin silvery membrane, and in case of cover smart of barley the whole heads turn into a smarted head. The whole heads turn into a smarted, or the whole heads turn into a smarted head, which is covered by also a thin membrane, but which is comparatively thick, which is comparatively stable. You can say, which is comparatively resist the strong wind and wind, so that it cannot be kept. এবং পরের স্টেপে লিখবা তোমরা যেটা ধুয়ে মুছে চলে যায় আর এটা যায় না, গেলে কি হয় এমটি রেকিস হয় লুজ স্মার্টে, এটাতে এইরকম সিম্পটম দেখা যায় না। আর মেইন হচ্ছে ছবিটা এঁকে দিবা আর প্যাথোজেনের নাম দুইটা লিখে দিবা, সুন্দর করে একটা পার্থক্য তৈরি করবা নিজেরাই, এই বেসড অন দা কন্টেন্ট নিজেরাই সুন্দর করে একটা পার্থক্য তৈরি করবা। আমি তোমাদের কোশ্চেনটা বলে দিলাম। এখন কথা হচ্ছে তোমরা কি এতগুলি ডিজিজ সব পড়বা হুইটের? নো, মোটামুটি সব এমনি পড়ে রাখবা, পরীক্ষার জন্য তোমরা একটু করবা, সেটি হচ্ছে যে লিপ ব্লাইট এন্ড ব্ল্যাক পয়েন্ট আছে না? হ্যালো,
Yes, sir.
হ্যাঁ এটা ভালো করে পড়বা, ফিউজেরিয়াম হেড ব্লাইটটা ভালো করে পড়বা, হুইট ব্লাস্টটা ভালো করে পড়বা, আর রাস্টটা ভালো করে পড়বা। এই 4টা ডিজিজ সুন্দর করে পড়তে হবে, আর বাকিগুলি মোটামুটি পড়বা আর এই পার্থক্যটা পড়বা। ক্লিয়ার? তাহলে হুইট ব্লাস্ট, ফিউজেরিয়াম হেড ব্লাইট, লিপ ব্লাইট এন্ড ব্ল্যাক পয়েন্ট এন্ড কি রাস্ট। রাস্ট কিন্তু আমাদের দেশে আছে, ইটস এ কমন ডিজিজ।
Sir, in case of wheat blast, so why the infection starts from the tip of the head?
Okay, It's very hard to answer, even from my side. You know, the even it's a mystery. Rahasya is a mystery. Why? Still people don't know from where the pathogen is come. If you go to my slides, there whether you can see, perhaps you remember or not, you forgot, I think. So see the situation, what we have in this case. See, still I put question mark here, from where the pathogen come. And still I have question mark here, how the pathogen spread. Still I have question mark here, whether the pathogen come from the infected head to healthy head. These are the questions. So the usually still people trying to see how the pathogen come from the infected lip and then directly jump to the top of the head and starting the symptoms from the tip. So you can assume that in the top of the head, and there is dew deposition in the winter. Ki jome? Shishir jome na?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Shishir jome thake shishir mathay. So it is expecting, or it can be explained, that maybe the spore of this fungus just drop on the dewdrop, just fall on the dewdrops and germinate and start infection and then proceed downwardly. There is one explanation, but it is still very hard to say how this pathogen come from. Because as I told you earlier, it is completely different from rice blast. Because in rice blast, you can notice the symptom in the lip and also in the panicle, neck of the panicle and whole panicle finally blissed out. But in case of weed, you see, even when we visited in Meherpur, we critically observed, even we cannot see the symptom on the lip, but still the whole feel infected. So it is still many questions need to be addressed in the coming days. How the pathogen move to the head directly without any infection in the lip. But one of our findings in our lab under this project primarily indicate that the pathogen come from seed through internally with the stem and infect the head at the top. এরকম একটা ফাইন্ডিংস আমাদের আছে, পাবলিশেবল লেভেলে আছে, আমরা পেপারটা লিখতেছি। হ্যাঁ, এটি শেষ হলে বোঝা যাবে আর কি। তো আমরা দেখছি যে সেগমেন্ট করে দেখছি যে গোড়ার দিকের স্টেমের এক পিস নিছি, মাঝামাঝিতে নিছি, উপরের দিকে নিছি, দেখি যে পাওয়া যায়, সব লেভেলেই পাওয়া যায়। আমাদের ধারণা প্যাথোজেন দা সিড থেকে সরাসরি স্টেমের ভিতর দিয়ে সিস্টেমিক্যালি ইনফেক্ট করতেছে। বাট ইট ইজ ভেরি হার্ড টু সে ডিক্লেয়ার that wheat blast pathogen infecting the head systemically. It's very hard to say at this stage. We have to reconfirm, but we confirm it again, need to reconfirm. So, any question? So, lip blight and black point, detail porba, disease cycle, shop, symptom control, fusarium head blight sundor kore porba, ব্লাস্ট সুন্দর করে পড়বা, রাশ সুন্দর করে পড়বা, এই চারটা ডিজিজ ভালো করে পড়বা। আর লুজ স্মার্ট কভার স্মার্টের পার্থক্যটা ভালো করে পড়বা এখান থেকে, এই ক্রপ থেকে। আর আমি নোটগুলি একদিনেই দিয়ে দেবো দুইটাই। এখন তোমাদেরকে পিডিএফ করে দিলে ভালো হবে, তাই না?
Yes sir.
তাহলে ঠিক আছে, আমি তোমাদের
অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স লিংক স্যার
এই শিটটা পাঠিয়ে দিচ্ছি। তোমরা একটু ইয়েতে থাকো, চ্যাট বক্সে দিচ্ছি, দেখো পাও কিনা। দেখো তো গেছে কিনা।
না স্যার, এভরিওয়ানে দেন।
ও আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, আমি তো প্রত্যেকদিন একই ভুল করি, দেখা যায়। দেখো তো
স্যার, এটা তো আমাদের ক্লাস লিংক মনে হচ্ছে।
হ্যাঁ
সেটা ক্লাস লিংক স্যার, তো
ও
গুগল
আচ্ছা
ফর্মে
আচ্ছা, তাহলে আমার দুইবার কপি হয়েছে, বুঝছি। আমি এটা copy করিনি, আমি সেটা ক্রিয়েট করে রাখছি আমার ড্রাইভে। জাস্ট ওয়েট এ ফিউ সেকেন্ড প্লিজ। তোমরা তো আবার দিয়ে দিছো না? আচ্ছা দাঁড়াও, আমি একটু দেখে নেই আমার ড্রাইভে যেটা থাকার কথা ছিল। সেটা কাজ করি আমি, I can create a new one, just 1 minute. Only this and Google Form. What I can do, attendance level 3 semester 2, today's 23rd, right? So name, then section, no ID, then section. Okay, then what I can do, remove it, limit to 1 response, saved. Now need to send. Send means, okay, can you see now?
জি স্যার।
Yeah, okay. Did you fill the previous 2 forms? Previous classes, did you fill the previous forms already, right? You did it.
স্যার এখানে সেকশনের জায়গা অপশন দেখাচ্ছে, তো ওখানে কি অপশন 1 মানে সেকশন ডিটা উল্লেখ করব কিভাবে সেকশনেরটা?
আচ্ছা, আমি উল্লেখ করে দেই নাই?
না স্যার।
এই তো খালি ভুলই হচ্ছে দেখা যাচ্ছে, দাঁড়াও। আজকে তো তোমাদের আর ক্লাস নাই নাকি?
স্যার কোন কোন গ্রুপের প্র্যাকটিক্যাল ক্লাস আছে।
ও আচ্ছা, প্র্যাকটিক্যাল হয় আবার কোথায়? কি বলো?
এক্সটেনশন আছে।
ওদের তো ইয়া নাই, ল্যাব ওয়ার্ক নাই নাকি?
ল্যাব ওয়ার্ক না থাকলে গ্রুপ ওয়ার্ক আছে স্যার।
আচ্ছা,
সেগুলো তো করা যাচ্ছে না স্যার।
হ্যাঁ
স্যার, যে গ্রুপ ওয়ার্ক গুলো আছে সেগুলো তো করা যাচ্ছে না আর কি।
ওই তো খুললে 24 মে ইট করো, ইট করে তারপর ধীরে স্থির ভাবে হয়ে যাবে। Hope we'll have a good time.